What's up, guys? So, I'm doing this video not for sympathy. That's not what I'm looking at. If I can inspire some people, I will. This isn't a promo. I'm not doing this as Tyler Bodine. I'm doing this as myself. I've struggled with depression for a long time. I struggled with addiction, alcoholism, as well as suicide. Back when I was in high school, and I kept a lot of stuff in. Like, my family doesn't even know a lot of stuff that went on. I was a cutter. I used to cut my wrist, and I would always wear long sleeve shirts, even in the summertime, just so nobody would see. And I did that a few times, and then I graduated high school, went to college, and I met this girl that literally was the girl of my dreams, or so I thought. And I was happy. I was happy for once in my life. And we were together we were dating for like 2.5 months before we moved in together. A lot of people said, oh, it's way too fast, way too fast. But, both of us believed, in love at first sight. And we lived with her mom and dad. And for 5 years while we lived with her mom and dad, I got really depressed. We would argue. And I never attempted suicide, never thought about really suicide in those 5 years when we were living with her mom and dad. And then come February 2016 is when her and I had got a house of our own. And from that point, and it just seemed like from that point we just started arguing constantly over stupid stuff. And the one thing that made me feel good was pills and alcohol. And I had a bunch of prescriptions for prescription painkillers from my injuries over the years. And, people think that, being a wrestler is awesome. You have a luxury life, but I'm just like everybody else, and I'm no different than anybody else. And being on prescription painkillers has positives and negatives. Well, those painkillers, I ended up not using all of them. So come February 2016, when my ex and I were arguing like all the time. The only thing that really made me feel good was popping pills and drinking alcohol. And I'd only pop like 2 or 3 pills and then drink like a 12-pack of beer. And at that time I didn't think nothing of it, but it made me relax. It made me calm down and relax. And that was an everyday thing. And it got to the point where we were getting ready to split up, and I didn't care because I thought I was living the good life. And then, but we continued to argue over stupid stuff, and a lot of it was my fault because I not only, sorry, TV's loud. I not only was addicted to pills, but I was a borderline alcoholic as well. And 2016 was, despite starting my addiction and everyday thing, having to do with pills and alcohol, 2016 was probably one of the better years for me. But at the same time, during 2016, like I said, my ex and I had bought our first house together, and it was always my dream to own a house. And at that time, I was working at Bodine Correctional Center. And, people that are in the military, I have the utmost respect for, but they're not the only ones that get PTSD. Because by working at the prison, I was one of them assholes that brought work home with me, unfortunately, and that caused a lot of heat at home. And despite all the arguing, I kept telling myself, things are gonna get better, things are gonna get better. Oh, unfortunately, never did. And I ended up leaving the prison and was out of work for a little while my ex busted her ass. And it was at that first point I made a decision. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take my gun and I'm gonna put it in my mouth. I'm gonna pull the trigger, and that way she would find me when she came home from work. Obviously, that didn't happen. This was back in 2016. And it got to the point where every day I wanted to just put the gun up to my head and just pull the trigger. Because all this arguing and everything and we were struggling financially and whatnot, it sucked. I hated it. And I finally decided to sell my gun and all the ammunition to a buddy of mine. I'm like, you know what? I plan on killing myself. I don't want to use it. I don't need this gun in my place anymore. And I sold it to him. And fast forward to the beginning of 2017, and we were laying in bed, and I straight up told her, this will be my last night alive. Because I had planned on hanging myself the next day. And she took me to the emergency room, and I was admitted. Despite all that, I persevered and I still came through. In 2017, I had got a job at the nursing home. And my ex and I, we continued to argue about stupid stuff. And I met this girl where I was working at the nursing home. And it was just a friendship. And it was just nice to talk to a female without constantly arguing. And it got to a point where I was accused of cheating. And I swear I never did. And that just added more fuel to the fire, more arguing constantly. And then my aunt came over one day, and my ex and I sat down with my aunt, and we had a conversation. I just talked about life. And from that point forward, I made a pledge to be a better person to my ex and whatnot. But I was still doing the pills, drinking the alcohol.
What's happening? Were you getting back in the ring? You wrestling again? No. Just shooting a movie here in London, and
But I made a decision to completely up and leave that nursing home and go work at the same nursing home that my ex worked at. So there was no suspicion of me cheating. And so I did that. And I worked in it, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed working at the nursing home. But the problem is I was still taking the pills, drinking alcohol. I was addicted. It made me feel good. And I was still that asshole guy.
It doesn't matter what your names are. You walk around here and
Rock.
the rock you like you haven't seen the sun in 20 years. You like you just stepped out of Oliver Twist. Please, son.
I'm actually watching Fighting with My Family.
What do you want? How about what the Rock wants? The Rock wants to go out there, take no
Where's I
prisoners,
going?
have no regrets, have no fear. Lay it all out.
Come, then we started 2018. Literally 2018 was the worst year of my life.
There's your advice. Straight out of the jabroni beating. Trailblazing, eyebrow raising, entertaining the
It was either May 19th or May 20th. I came home from work one day, and my ex had packed up her stuff and she was gone. My world literally came crashing down, and I had struggled with depression the whole time we were together. But I fell in the worst deep depression of my entire life. That night was the first night that I was alone in almost 8 years. And it hurt like hell. And I don't know what stopped me from killing myself that night. But a week later, her and I had a meeting to discuss, what was going to happen going forward. And she brought up that she had lost feeling for me and didn't have any feelings for me for the last 3 months. And that hit me like a freaking ton of bricks. And nobody knows about this time. But that was the night that she told me that she didn't have feelings for me. It was the first night that I attempted suicide. Instead of just taking a couple pills and drinking a 12-pack, I took a handful of pills and I drank 24 beers. And I didn't tell nobody. And nobody knows that until this video. I wanted to kill myself because I felt like my whole world was coming to an end. And then right around the 4th of July, was the second time and the last time that I tried to commit suicide. I once again
pay to watch. Timid little
took
British
some
girl.
pills, and drank a lot of alcohol. And I'm sitting in that emergency room, my uncle came in, and he looked straight at me. And his exact words were, "Tyler, what the fuck are you doing? You have your whole life ahead of you. You're starting to wrestle a lot more." And you know what? I broke down, because he was right 100%. Without wrestling, I probably would have attempted suicide again. But getting to see all my brothers and sisters every weekend and traveling the road is one of the most awesome feelings in the world. Wrestling saved my life. But wrestling wasn't the only thing that saved my life. That night, the second time that I committed suicide, I was actually talking to my ex at the time, and she told one of her friends what I was saying, and he actually called the police and ambulance service. It pissed me off for a while that she didn't have the audacity to call, but now I understand. But had he not called, I probably wouldn't be here right now doing this video. And after I got out of the hospital, I seeked more and more bookings to keep myself busy. I got off the pills.
Nice finisher. Is that your move?
I don't drink as much as I mean. I drink maybe once every month, twice a month. I don't know. I don't drink that much anymore. I really don't. I've been clean since the middle of last year from pills. I don't even like taking aspirin. If I have a headache, I'll just deal with it.
Thank you all very much.
It's just, no matter what you go through, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm living proof of that. I literally have been to hell and back. And I've been through a lot more than some people have been.
Excuse me?
No one deserves this one. Zach, why didn't you pick him?
And
99% of the people don't get picked.
He was running rings around
It's-
those guys.
I'm not looking for a ring.
No, wait, you have to explain
I'm living
why you
proof
didn't pick him.
you can do anything you want to do.
I wish you the best, son.
And you can overcome anything. And there is
You're
help
not
out
telling me
there.
they're mine.
Is that a threat?
Yes.
No.
That's all I got for today. I hope I can inspire people, because, like I said, I've been to hell and back. And God was there for me after 2 suicide attempts, multiple times threatening to kill myself.
3, 2.
Yeah, okay, I want this.
I persevered and I overcame all my demons. And so can you. I wish you all the best of luck. God bless. Thank you.